Say goodbye to antibiotics. Harness the power of probiotics and nature to fight H. Pylori.
告别抗生素，用益生菌和营养科学对抗幽门螺杆菌。
The power of probiotics and nutrition can now fight H. Pylori naturally. Goodbye to antibiotics.
Hey everyone, and welcome to today's Explainer. I am so glad you're here because we're diving into something that affects so many of us on a really, really uncomfortable level. If you've ever been doubled over with just a relentless stomach ache, totally wondering if relief is ever going to come, you'll want to pay close attention. For a long time, we've basically relied on one super aggressive way to fight persistent gut infections. But today, we're looking at some absolutely fascinating new research that reveals a completely different, entirely natural way to reclaim your gut health. We're talking about fighting back against one of the most stubborn stomach infections out there and basically turning your stomach into a battlefield, but in the best way possible. Let's get right into it.
Part 1. The Smart Stomach Bug. Okay, let's dive right into this and get to know our highly adaptable, incredibly stubborn, microscopic villain, H. pylori.
So tell me if this sounds familiar. You took all the antibiotics, you followed the rules, and literally nothing changed. Your stomach still aches, the pain is totally still there. If that's you, I want to show you right now, you are absolutely not alone in this battle. It's such a common story. People follow the traditional protocol, they take the heavy medicine, and yet this bug just kind of shrugs it off. And the reason for that is deeply rooted in just how shockingly clever this bacteria really is. Just think about this for a second. H. pylori lives in burning stomach acid like it's hanging out at a relaxing spa. I mean, wow. Your stomach acid is highly corrosive, right? It's designed to break down tough foods and absolutely destroy invading pathogens. It is a hostile, burning environment. But H. pylori? It doesn't just survive in that acid, it actually thrives. It treats this boiling cauldron like a luxury vacation spot. And honestly, that incredible resilience is exactly why the standard, run-of-the-mill medical solutions so often hit a massive brick wall.
Part 2. The Traditional Antibiotic Fix. Because this bacteria is so unbelievably resilient, the traditional medical response has basically been a massive display of brute force.
Now this sets up a really fascinating contrast. The standard procedure out there is triple therapy. That's antibiotics aggressively bombarding the stomach, taking absolutely no prisoners, and just hoping to eventually hit the H. pylori. But let's contrast that brute force approach with your gut microbiota. Think of your microbiome not just as an organ for digestion, but as an incredible internal city filled with literally billions of allies. Instead of just indiscriminately bombarding the entire environment with heavy antibiotics, what if we leverage those billions of microscopic allies that already live inside you? Part 3. Probiotics, the gut's reinforcements. When your internal city is outnumbered and losing the fight against this stubborn stomach bug, well, that is exactly when we send in the biological reinforcements.
Let's get really specific about who these reinforcements are. We're talking about the Lactobacillus strain. And listen, these aren't just ordinary cells. These are elite probiotic soldiers. Remember how we said earlier that H. pylori treats your burning stomach acid like a relaxing spa day? Well, the Lactobacillus strain has one very specific mission. They turn the stomach into a living hell for the germ. They completely alter the environment, ripping up that spa treatment and making it absolutely inhospitable for the invading bacteria.
Let's break down exactly how they pull this off. First, they deploy targeted antimicrobial compounds, things like ruterin, which basically act as a highly precise biological offensive. Next, and this is wild, they use literal natural swords. These microscopic weapons physically pierce right through the H. pylori's defenses and kill it. It's a targeted dismantle and destroy mission happening right there in your stomach. They're completely neutralizing the enemy, but without any of the collateral damage you'd get from heavy antibiotics. Part 4. Dietary allies and enemies. So the crucial takeaway here is that while probiotics are incredible warriors, they really can't win this war alone. They need some serious tactical support from us.
First up in your dietary arsenal, fiber from veggies and whole grains. And hey, this isn't just roughage. The research actually describes fiber as the absolute favorite bomb that causes the H. pylori bacteria's walls to just collapse. You are literally feeding your army explosives to use against the invader's fortress. And second, do not forget fermented foods like yogurt. Every single time you eat fermented foods, you are actively bringing fresh, ready-to-fight probiotic soldiers directly into your internal city. These are your absolute most essential dietary allies.
But, you know, every battlefield has two sides, and we have got to be vigilant. You need to watch out for stress, smoking, and alcohol. These three saboteurs are essentially H. pylori's best friends. When you introduce extreme stress, smoking, or heavy alcohol into your system, you're actually giving the bad bacteria the vital energy it needs to destroy your microbiome. You are quite literally handing the enemy the weapons they need to defeat your probiotic reinforcements. To win this war, you absolutely must cut off the enemy's supply lines.
Part 5. Dr. Addissouky's medical breakthrough. Let's see how all this builds from a cool metaphorical war into the hard, peer-reviewed science that proves we really can harness nature to defeat this bug.
Dr. Addissouky states that his recent research has completely revolutionized the field. He points to a groundbreaking study published just yesterday, stating clearly, the power of probiotics and nutrition can now fight H. pylori naturally. Guys, this is monumental. It completely validates the strategy of using your body's natural defenses, supported by specific strains like Lactobacillus and a highly targeted diet, to eradicate an infection that previously seemed practically invincible to standard medical therapy.
Which brings us to the most important question for you to chew on today. Are you ready to say goodbye to antibiotics? As we've seen throughout this explainer, you now possess the knowledge to harness the incredible power of probiotics in nature to fight back against H. pylori. By fortifying your internal city with fermented foods, dropping dietary fiber bombs to collapse bacteria walls, and completely cutting out the saboteurs of stress, smoking, and alcohol, you can finally take true control of your gut health. Thank you so much for joining me to explore this fascinating research. Now, go win the battle for your microbiome.
Meet the gut microbiota, your internal city filled with billions of allies.
But watch out! Stress, smoking, and alcohol are the bacteria's best friends, giving it energy to destroy your microbiome. Yes, my research has revolutionized the field. A groundbreaking study on Dream for Helicobacter pylori published just yesterday.
告别抗生素，用益生菌和营养，科学对抗幽门螺杆菌。
Say goodbye to antibiotics. Harness the power of probiotics and nature to fight H. pylori.